morning, everybody. It is another beautiful day. Nice breeze today. Ain't nobody gonna sweat today. I brought 4 kids along. They are happily working away, stripping the form boards from the concrete we poured yesterday. Unfortunately, we didn't quite have enough. I got a little bit missing here. This one was full. We emptied it, put it in here because this one's more important, and I'm gonna have to fill that with some bagged concrete today, and then we'll fill this one up when we do the walls. The perimeter is what we're gonna work on next. After we get this all done, we're gonna fill this up with gravel, put a tile in here. We gotta dig a hole in here for a pump yet. And I've got some stone coming from the laneway, so I'm gonna start spreading that out with the tractor. This tractor has been generously provided by the tractorist. We'll put the details on the screen here. You should contact them if you have any tractor repair needs, or if you would like to buy a tractor. I'm telling you, the service is second to none. We are buying a tractor from them, and because it's not ready yet, they have generously provided us with this one to use. And I say that's pretty good service. They're joking that I sound like a weatherman, so why not? Today's weather is brought to you in part by Countryside Acres. We can see that it is slightly sunny and also slightly cloudy. There is a small chance of sunshine, small chance of rain, no chance of snow, and all around it looks like it will be a great day. There's the money shot right there. This tractor is generously provided to you by the Tractorist Nizhny Novgorod. There's website. They also sell mulchers in case you want to mulch something. And there's the phone number on the screen. Got the rock truck coming right behind me. It's an awesome feeling when you start to figure out the language. I don't know a lot of it, but I'm learning, and you can actually make some communication is great. Between that, Google Translate, and hand signals, you understand each other. So he's getting ready to dump. He says they got lots more. The lady told me they only had 3 trucks, but he says, oh, you can have 3 today, 3 tomorrow, 3 the next day. No problem. So, okay. See how many we need. I'm going to do it a little thinner and a little less wide. Originally we were thinking 3 meters, but I don't need 3 meters. 2 meter wide will be good, I think. So we'll start here, we'll see how far it goes. I'll push it out with the tractor and then he'll bring another one. Good old Kamaz trucks. Tough as nails. Gonna drop little piles like that all the way along, and I will spread it out. Hopefully that works well. What I'm used to is that they just don't open the gate all the way. They tie it with a chain and then they just drive along, but maybe he doesn't have that option here, I guess. Nice material. It's going to be lumpy and bumpy for a while, but at least next time it rains we won't get stuck. Eventually we'll top dress it with some nice gravel. For now we'll just drive slow. So he's got a nice little piles. I'm going to flatten it out. It goes pretty far like this, I think, and it'll give it some structure at least when it rains. It's a little greasy in the field otherwise. Alright, not real thick. I would probably prefer to go thicker, but we're limited by how much material we can get. This stuff is really awkward for walking on, by the way. Anyway, it'll help us to not get stuck. That's the main thing for now. A lot of it is going to get pushed into the ground as trucks drive over it. And then we will be adding, I'm guessing, more of this big stuff. I don't 100% know yet. I've actually never built a laneway on topsoil. I personally think it's a bad idea. But it was the cheapest one. And since we're not super rich people, I would rather spend this money on cattle or something that's going to make me money and just deal with a less good laneway. So I think this will work just fine. The main idea is that this will kind of sink in and give some traction, and we will be top dressing it many times, I would assume. until it is good. Long term, this way probably will cost us more money. Short term, it's cheaper. And I think it'll work. Most of the village is done the exact same way, actually. And for now, as long as it's just our van driving through here and some tractors, it will be perfectly fine. Once we start, you know, if we do milk cows and start driving a milk truck through here, then I would think it'll take quite a beating from the weight. But right now, it's good. Look at that, eh? They got her all stripped off, or some of it. While I'm busy. I'm doing the hard work, right? I'm pushing all that gravel around. You try moving 10 ton of rocks, right? Jerry's hiding behind me because I caught him not working. And then he tried hiding some more, and I caught you anyway. And the whole world can see you standing around. Do you feel bad?
Not really.
Not really. What were you doing?
Warming up in the heat.
Warming up in the heat. In the sunshine, you're like a cat basking in the sun. Do you purr like a cat? Not really. I don't know where my other truck is. There's supposed to be 3 trucks coming. It kind of sounded like the next one was coming right away, but I waited for a long time over there and I still don't see a truck. So I thought I'd go see what the kids are doing here instead. Now, if you look behind me, where... Oh, it might be a little hard to see, but there is a car parked down here. And so this is something new to me. Apparently it's like a real important tradition for Russian people to go mushroom picking. Not something I've ever done. I was always told not to eat mushrooms because you don't know if you're eating a bad one. You might be either really sick or go a little crazy for a week. And so I get my mushrooms at the store. But apparently here, they buy, or no, they pick a lot of mushrooms. It's a big thing. People come to the village here and then they wander through these bushes and pick mushrooms. So there's people behind us picking mushrooms way down the hill. And then on this side while I was working, a family went into this bush and they're picking mushrooms in this bush. It's like Christmas. We got all these packages coming today. This guy driving through the field. This man is delivering our basement walls in there. Now how can you fit basement walls inside that truck? Is that what you're thinking? Well, they're in there. You will have to see. This is ICF blocks. We're gonna set them up here. We're gonna fill them full of concrete and rebar. Obviously we're gonna brace them. By the time we're done, we're gonna have concrete sandwiched in between two 2-inch layers of styrofoam, which acts as an insulating barrier right away. It's insulation and cement form all in one, and that insulation stays on. It's done. Not only that, you can screw your drywall right to it, and on the outside you can screw whatever you want on the outside. So it's ready to go. It's a complete system. I've done quite a few of these in Canada, not with this particular brand obviously because it's in Russia, but I am very excited to work with it and to show you guys how it works, and I think you'll like it as well. So we're going to be showing you how to build with this, how to build a basement system with it, and showing you their product, and hoping that maybe you also will decide to work with these guys. They're based right here in Nizhny. Beautiful people, we are here again. We missed one day. We had stuff to do in town. We are back at the job now. It's Thursday and we're getting ready. I've got my line chalked out for the outside of the wall, squared it up. It is perfect, and there's nothing better feeling than when everything works out good. Boys brought their trucks so they can play around on the rocks or on the concrete, at least until we build a wall. That's the flattest surface he's had to drive on yet. And Finney's got his new birthday tools. Are you a happy man? You ready to start building stuff, right bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, chalking a line all the way around the outside edge. What I'm going to do is fasten a steel stud. If you remember that, usually we only use those in commercial buildings. Some people like them in residential as well. But they're steel studs. We're going to fasten those to the concrete, and that'll give us a nice lip that I can fasten the foam blocks to, so that my bottom cord of blocks is firmly fastened, stuck. It isn't going to blow away. And then we'll be building from there up, and then of course we got to do all our bracing and stuff before we pour concrete. I am waiting for rebar yet. It's supposed to come today, enough to get started, and then the rest tomorrow. So we can only do one course of foam block. These are our foam blocks put together. This is not the right one. This one is done properly. As you can see, there's a channel in these for rebar. One rebar is sufficient here, but these channels are adjustable. So this is going to be a 6-inch concrete wall. These pieces are adjustable though, which is kind of really cool. So you can adjust it and separate it, right? You can go with a 6-inch or an 8-inch wall or a 10-inch wall on these ones, and then they have other ones to go even bigger. If you wanted to, let's say, do the footings with this same material, as a lot of people do, you could also do that. They have big enough ones to do a 2-foot footing as well, and they would be insulated. So here you can see the insulation right here. It's actually closer to 1.5 inches, not 2 inches, I guess. And then the concrete will go in between, and rebar will go in these. So I'll alternate. The one row will put rebar here, the next row on top of it, the rebar will go here, back and forth. So there's an inside and an outside as we go up. There's 10 courses of these on top of each other. And then we will be putting verticals down in between these two, lined up kind of with these guys. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. The boys have got their little elf shop going, working in the back of here, assembling. They came all flat stack and then bags of webs, and we're putting them together. I have built multiple ICF homes going back. The first one I would say would be 23 years ago, probably, when I took a course on it, and that was a product called Nudura. Now, they were pretty fancy at the time. They of course come with the webs all previously installed. They're embedded in the foam, and they were the first brand that actually were collapsible. Imagine if you get a whole truckload of forms like this, how much space that would take. So this company makes them right there, and you get them all flat packed and then put your own webs in. Nudura's had a hinge, so this piece could fold flat down, and that made it a lot skinnier, and it became, in my opinion, the most desirable block at that time. Now, a lot of years have passed by, and there's multiple different kinds. This is the only one I'm aware of here in Russia right now. It is made locally right here in Nizhny. At this point, I highly recommend it. We're going to try building with it and see how it goes. So those are going to go on here on the red line, you can see, and we'll stack it up. I would like to pour concrete. It is now Thursday. I would love to pour concrete on Saturday. If that's not possible, we'll do it on Monday. When the concrete comes to the walls, I'm going to finish this last footing and get it done. And then as soon as we're done all that, we can start framing the rest of the house and be done. We also need to put this tile in yet, and I'm still trying to find gravel to go in here. I haven't had any luck, but I want drainage stone inside of here underneath the concrete slab. We've dug a sump pump pit over here, so any water that ends up inside of our house will go in this pit. And normally I would buy a plastic pit for it. I don't know what they have here or don't have here. I thought I had a little extra concrete yesterday. We dumped it in the hole. I got these bricks here. Why not just stack them up? We'll make our own pit and save a few bucks. It's always nice to save money. And that tile that I have, the skinnier one, it's a 160 millimeter, is going to be going along this inside here. We'll put it in the pit here, and this side we'll put it in the pit here. Any water that would happen to come in here, I don't suspect there ever will be any, but if there was, it'll make it into this pit. Any outside water will go out this tile, which will be all the way around the building when we're done, and run down the slope. So I'm still working mostly with the knockoff Makita set that I bought, and I'm still happy with it. So if you're wondering, that's the thing. Our drill came with it. This is the first time using it today. I have used the grinder, pretty happy with it. I've used this impact, pretty happy with it. Today we're going to use this drill for the first time. But all in all, again, they're homeowner specials, but they seem to be working. The ladies are working on setting up a tent. That's true, they built the house faster than me, they're saying. That's true. That's a big house. Nice. Ozone, people, Ozone. They have everything for sale on Ozone. I don't really like to give parenting tips because that would make it sound like I've got it all figured out, and I don't. And I'm reminded of that every day as I think, what am I doing wrong? Parenting can be difficult, but there's things you can do to make it easier and things you can do to make it enjoyable. And there's also things that you must do, in my opinion, and that is teach your children. So many of you know so many things, but don't teach them to your children. You send them to daycare, or you send them to school, and you don't interact with your own children. And that's a common problem that I see, because later on I hear parents saying, you know, oh, I can't believe these kids, they're nothing like me, or they never listen. And I think, yeah, but you never raised them. You didn't spend the time with them. Take them with you everywhere you can. This guy's like, I'm helping you, and he just wants to work. And so you give him, you know, you don't give him the heaviest job maybe, but he's partaking. He feels like he's contributing. It's great for him. It's great for the family. Everybody's working together. One of these children, I don't see him right now, so he must have went to the back or he's on a bathroom break. Those two children were not asked to do that job. They volunteered. Never asked. One child was asked to help with this tent. And there's 3 children there, plus mama helping.
Papa.
The other feller's in the back of the container right now getting some. There he is. He's the one I asked to do the job. The other ones I didn't ask. Key thing, I think, is to involve them as much as you can. Just think of all the knowledge that you've gleaned in your entire life, whether you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 60 years old, doesn't matter. You've gained knowledge and wisdom. And if you could pass everything that you know on to the next generation, just think of the amazing start that they would have. Think of the stuff you just learned last week, or maybe you're learning today for the first time, and it took you 60 years to learn that, or 20 years, whatever it might be. If you could pass that on to your child is now at the same level as you are today, meaning for the next 40, 50, 60 years, they can add to that rather than struggle to try to learn that, if that makes any sense. And so I take it as my job, my personal responsibility, to teach my children everything that I know. Not every child's interested, of course, there's differences, but everything that I know, I can pass to them, and then they can build on that, and hopefully they will be 10 times smarter than I am. Yep, keep pushing. Hope that helps. There it goes. Good job, pull it out. There we go. Okay, move over to the next hole. Yep, go. Good job. Move over next hole. Watch out for that rebar, okay? Dangerous. No, right here, buddy. There. There you go. One more. Move over a bit more. Excellent. Good job, bud. Is that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a little drill he's got. 3 years old. It used to amaze me how much a 3-year-old can help. It no longer does. But I noticed that it amazes a lot of other people that think that kids are kind of useless and get in the way. This guy's not getting in the way. Do you know what to do with that?
Yeah.
I did not tell him this. Just telling you, he just turned 3. I have not taught him how to hold a drill. Oh, you got the wrong bit, I think. Take this one off. That's the wrong one. You got another one, buddy? That one's too big. You need a smaller one. Put this one back in the bucket.
A smaller?
Yeah, a littler one. Yeah, that'll fit in the screw.
These ones?
I don't know, bring it over here. I can't see. They decided to bring the whole box over instead. So in the past, we've bought them those like Fisher Price plastic hammers and toys. None of it lasts very long, and we thought, why wouldn't we just buy him something real? It's not going to do a lot of damage with that, and he can learn a lot. Okay, what do you got? Can we show everybody these little bits? Open up that little package. Attaboy. Okay, now you got to find one that's going to fit this screw. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Oh,
that one there. This one right there is going to work good. Try that one. Try it on the screw. See if it'll work on the screw. Watch this rebar, remember? It's danger. There you go. Get this box out of your way. Try it on that screw. There you go. Oh, I think it's a little hard on your little drill. Hey, maybe grab mine.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It just didn't seem to work. Maybe we got the wrong bit still. Watch this rebar.
Yeah.
Let's try to finish that one off, shall we? Give me 5, big guy. You're a hard worker?
Yeah.
What are you going to be when you get older?
Egg.
You're going to be big?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be a farmer or a carpenter or truck driver, doctor? Maybe you're going to run for president of the country. Do you want to be president?
I want to be a truck driver bringing all of the pizzas.
You want to be a truck driver bringing pizza?
No, these.
Oh, bringing the rocks. You want to be like a rock truck driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, drive a big Kamaz, hey?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. You say очень хорошо? You say that. Очень хорошо.
Очень хорошо.
Atta boy. Alright, get a little bird's eye view here. So here we've got blocks set up. The reason for the steel track is so we can screw this on. I could have went with a thinner steel track, but I couldn't remember exactly how wide these styrofoam pieces were. So there you can see it. We got rebar in there as well. Now, unfortunately, they don't have a corner system, so I'm just cutting them. And then what you do is you take plywood on the outside and screw it on to hold it all together before pouring the concrete. Once the concrete's in there, plywood comes off, and everything, of course, will not go anywhere. I got this corner in there. Now we're going to stagger our joints, of course, to help hold it all together. So the weak point will be the corners, and the plywood's going to hold the corners together. Everything else will be very sturdy. They're 1 meter blocks, which is perfect because I built a 10 meter by 10 meter house, so that's very little cutting in that sense. But I do have to cut every corner just to get them to mesh together so that the cement can go around. You can see the tracks there in the webs meant for rebar. So first course I'm doing on the outside, the next one will be on the inside, the third one will be on the outside again. Here we got a walkout basement. I goofed up with my footings a little bit. The actual footing for the house that's carrying the house is perfectly fine. It is right. For some reason this one got really crooked, and so I want 3 feet between my walls here, and so there's 3 feet between here and here. 90 centimeters for you guys, but I like my stairwells and my hallways to be a minimum 36 inches or 90 centimeters. And so this corner will be off, but that's fine because this concrete wall is actually not load bearing. There's nothing here other than just a little roof, and this is going to be a walk-in basement here. That one, on the other hand, is carrying the whole structure of the house, so it's much more important than this one. And there's still, it's actually still sitting on here. It's just pretty close to the edge. Okay, lots of work got done. See? Getting tired. We are planning on staying here tonight, but we're gonna grab some food and probably call it a night. It's about 7:30. So if you have a keen eye, you'll see the walls are not 100% straight. That will happen later. Here you can see this one's off. Maybe you can't, I don't know. Pretty close to straight, but it is off a little bit. And we're going to adjust that later. All the corners, I can show you this one here. For one, you can see all the black marks. That's everywhere where you can fasten stuff later on. Looks kind of funny now, I guess, the way it is. But I'm actually super impressed. I was already impressed before talking to the guys about the product, but I hadn't worked with it yet, and I was kind of still, you know, it's a different product than I'm used to, basically, and I was kind of like, is it going to be strong enough or isn't it? But once you get all these webbings inside of here, there's what, nine webs in each block of styrofoam. You can see the edges of the block, and you can count 9 webbings in there. That's super strong. And then you throw your rebars in there, yeah, too. Helps kind of hold it together. The problem is that there's no actual corners, yeah, and so we have to build that. And I'm going to wrap it with plywood on the corner like this, and that'll help hold it all together. And we want to make sure they're perfectly level when we're doing it. The other ones are going to get braced. I'm going to screw 2x4s into the inside webbing. I guess here in metric world we would call that a 5x10. And they'll be screwed straight up and down here, and then they're going to be braced down to the ground and staked in, and we'll make sure we pull them until it's perfectly level and then nail it all the way around. So we're almost halfway, about 40% done, which isn't bad considering we started about 3 hours ago. You know, I think it went really well. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of it on. I got to figure out the windows. There's going to be 3 windows on this side. I got to get those sizes figured out exactly, so that we can leave a hole for them, obviously. There's going to be the door and then the staircase going out eventually, but for now we're just building a bit of a goofball ladder so that we can get in and out right now. So anyway, yeah, pretty happy how it's going. Starting to take shape and look like a house. The link for the company will be in the description. I'm going to periodically throw it across the screen. I really want to advertise for these guys. Super guys, super friendly, very courteous and helpful, and also gave us a discount on the product because we have such a large family, and I think that's commendable. It's very kind of them. So in exchange, we are going to advertise for them and yeah, shoot a few videos, basically how we're putting it together so you guys can see for yourself. This is a very viable option. It's insulated right away. It's one reason I like it. You can actually build your whole home like this. You can go all the way up. I'm only doing the basement. The rest I'm going to stick frame like I would in Canada. But there's no reason why you can't continue on. You can only pour about 4 feet at a time. For the metric world, that's 120 centimeters. Is as much as you should be pouring in one pass, and then you can come by then it's set a little bit and you can do another 120. But I would never go more than 8 feet, I don't think, in one day, which would be 240. In this case, we're going with 250 centimeter basement here. Works out that way with these blocks. They are 25 centimeters tall. So 10 courses will give us 250, and we're going to pour that in one day, half and then the other half. Then I would let it sit and continue building from there afterwards. But there's no reason you can't do a 2 or 3 story house with this product. And you can also go wider if you want. Let's say your basement, you're going to do conventional and then you want to put bricks on your home. You could actually use a wider one for the basement so that there's enough room there to lay bricks on when you start your second story, and go with a 6-inch on the second one. Yeah, so this is a 6-inch right now, but you could go with a 10 down here and then a 6, or do whatever you like. They've got other options there as well. I'm hoping to get in there, to get into their little factory, do some filming. They make some styrofoam pipe covers as well, insulated covers, and a few other products that might interest you as well.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you, on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car,